Hey everybody, welcome back to Chamberlain Family Farms. So as you can see, we're at Mom and Dad's house, and today I'm going to be doing some squirrel hunting. Now if you guys are wanting to start homesteading, most people, they're going to be wanting to hunt and fish. It helps economically, gives you guys good healthy food, and all it costs is just a few cents for a little 22 shell. So stay tuned, I'm going to show you guys how to process a squirrel.
That's Philip over there hunting. Here on the farm, you don't have to go very far to find squirrel. It is a little more tricky for him because he is colorblind, so sometimes the squirrels blend into the background, so it's a little harder for him to see.
This is why, another reason, we want to thin this woods out like this, where, like I said, about 6 to 8 feet down, there's no branches whatsoever. You can see squirrel, you can see deer, about everything. So there's still quite a few squirrels around here. We might try to get another one, but I mostly just want to show you guys a video on how to skin a squirrel, and because there's a lot of people who've never done it before. Squirrel has its own taste, very, very good. I didn't show you guys this earlier, but what I did is I hit him up here, hit him in the lungs, and the angle that came out over here, which is better if you can go clear across, but the angle he was at, that's the only choice I had. But you hit him in the lungs of the heart and pretty much kills him instant. So heart's better. I know a lot of people, they try to shoot him in the head. Dad, he used to be really good at it. But guys, I got glasses and I need to get a stronger prescription, and I've got a bit of the shakes. So usually when I go squirrel hunting, I just use a shotgun, but I've got it all cleaned up and ready to go for deer season, so decided to go ahead and use a 22. I do use my 22 mostly just kill little varmints out in the garden, or if something gets a hold of the chickens or something. All right, so I'm gonna try using my doll pocket knife because I use it about everything. So the way I do it, now if you want to keep the hide, you don't want to do it this way, you want to do it like a rabbit. Just go ahead and cut the feet off, which we can go ahead and do that. Just like a rabbit. A little crunch. And what you want to do is right there's a joint. So you want to go just a little bit past that whenever you do it. Same thing down here. Come about here. Now the bones ain't as strong as the rabbit, so. But if you do have arthritis or anything like that, you can just use a pair of cutters, that's fine too. All right. Now a lot of people, they'll keep the heads on there, believe it or not. There's actually a lot of meat here in the cheeks and on the back of the neck, and people will eat that, and they also will eat the brains too. So we don't do that. Not that I wouldn't do it, but my wife and my mom, they just ain't about that. So they don't like their food staring at them while they're eating it. Now you can salt these and dry them really good, and you can make like little necklaces and stuff like that. I've done that once. Actually, I took a marble and I stuck it on there, and I took some wire, real thin wire, and I wrapped it around each of the fingers, around the marble, went around the marble, and salted it really good and let it dry. You know, kind of rigor mortis sets in. And then after it was done, I took the wire off, put a little super glue on there on that, and it was holding the ball. Of course, I put some wrapping around the top of it, but people do like stuff like that, guys. It's like a Native American stuff, and people absolutely love it. So that could be a little source of income as well. But I mean, whenever people's thinking about homesteading, hunting is usually on it. And a lot of people that live in the city that's coming out here, they've never hunted before. So that's kind of why we're going over this. Plus, there's also a whole generation that don't really know anything about hunting, and now they're thinking about it. So that's another reason we're doing it. All right, so got the arms and the legs cut. Like I said, if you want to keep the fur, you can. You'll just want to slit the arms, come down the belly just like a rabbit. All right, so what I'll do is I'll put a cut right there, right? All right, so I'm about in the middle of him. So you'll put a cut right there. And just like anything else, if it's a male, it's always going to be a little tougher. This is a male. It's something about that testosterone. It does something to the hide in all animals. But you get your 2 fingers in each side. There's a shirt. You just kind of work it down over the legs. And this is the easiest way I found to skinning the squirrels, doing it this way, guys. Just kind of work it around that muscle and that hide. Now, if you're wanting to keep the tail, you can pull it about halfway. I don't know if you can see the meat. You can pull it halfway like this, and then you'll have to open it up. If you're wanting to keep the tail, the whole tail, and you'll have to put a slit all the way down to the end, and you'll have to be real easy to get it off that bone and that meat, because the tail will tear very easily. And when we was younger, we go squirrel hunting, me and my friends, we'd cut the tails off first before we did anything, and we would zip tie them to our antennas on our trucks and go to school like that and everything. So, which now they probably hang you if you did something like that nowadays. But all right, so I'll start here at the chest. I just made a small cut. You want to keep up, you don't want to go into the intestine. You'll take your knife, put it right there on the pelvis, and you'll kind of tap it, and you want to break that pelvis, cut it. See, it's all the way open now. So now you'll come up here. You'll start up here at the top, get the liver. And yes, you can eat the liver and the kidneys if you want. We don't typically. Now the cats are gonna get all the guts. Mom's got a ton of cats. They go squirrel hunting all the time. I don't know how many full-size squirrels they've brought back to the house, but it's been a bunch over the years. They'll climb right up there and get them. All right, then up in there, you wanna poke that hole, which we shot and already opened that hole. And up in here, this is a chest cavity, and you're gonna have the heart and the lungs. Which you can see, one of them lungs is blowed out, and I just barely missed the heart. All right. So that's pretty much it. Now what we'll do is we'll just wash this off really good. We'll get all the hair and everything off of it, put in a bag. We'll put today's date. We'll put what it is, a squirrel. Now typically 1 squirrel is not enough for a family, okay? So you guys, let's see, usually about 5 or 6 squirrels what you typically want. So you can put these in a bag. If you just get one or two a week, just put them in a bag. Then once you get 5 or 6 of them, fry them. While we're on the hunting topic, so there's a big myth too. If you shoot the stomach, let's say you take it like what we just did, so to speak, except we hit the heart or lung, and then it came out, you know, from this angle. It shot the stomach, and there's poop inside. there's a big myth that you cannot eat that meat if it has any poop on it whatsoever. Guys, that is complete hype. It is a lie. Don't believe it. Granted, you don't want to leave it on there for too long, but I promise you, you take a deer or squirrel or whatever, you get you done hunting, you go wash that off, you're gonna be perfectly fine. Okay, I've shot a couple like that, deer and squirrel and rabbit, and it's fine. You just wash it off. It's that simple. And typically hunting season, it's fairly cool anyway, so it's like it's in a fridge regardless. So especially if you guys live here in Indiana or Midwest area, I mean, it's pretty chilly around this time of year, so that will not hurt you whatsoever. If you're like me, maybe you have some color blindness. I have to hunt by movement. I can't hunt by color whatsoever. So if I do shoot a squirrel or a deer and it don't die instantly, or let's say I shoot it pretty far out and I have to go through a bunch of brush and stuff, I personally have a hard time seeing it. Okay, and something about squirrels too, I mean, deer, they can crawl. That's not a myth. They really can crawl. But a squirrel, if you hit it far away and it doesn't die, typically what they're going to do is they're going to fall down on them pile of leaves, because I mean, that's what time of year it is, unless you shoot it in the spring. They're going to fall down in the woods on some leaves, and they're going to try to bury themselves under them leaves. So if you go right to the place where that squirrel fell and you don't see him, try to look for like leaf disturbances and stuff. And the same with the deer too. If you shoot a deer and he don't die instantly and he don't get up and run, he crawls through like brush or something, look, you guys got to look for that. Unless there's like a ton of blood, I can't even see the blood. I've got that much color problem. So if it's even dark, I mean, it just blends in. So just a little tip. If you are just beginning hunting, or you're thinking about getting into hunting, what I would recommend, typically it depends on what kind of hunt you want to do, but typically you want to start off with a shotgun, if you actually want to hit something, that is. Because if you're brand new to it, I mean, there's a lot of variations that you're going to have to get used to whenever you first start, like keeping steady and stuff. Granted, younger ones are probably going to be a lot more steady than what I am, because I just can't hold it straight without it shaking just a little bit. So you're better off with the shotgun if you're just starting out. Now, if you go shooting a squirrel or anything small, you don't want to be 5-10 feet away, because you know what's going to happen if you do that, right? With buckshot, all you're going to have is little pieces of little hide everywhere. It's just going to, so you want to make sure you're a good distance away whenever you do shoot it. And again, if you get like a 12 gauge or 20 gauge or something like that, you can also use that for deer season as well. So a shotgun is more diversified for what you can use it as. Now, you want to make sure the choke, you just talk to the gun store guy whenever you go purchasing it, he'll tell you all about it. But typically, if you can take a dime and run it through the barrel, it should be good for a slug, okay? You guys got to know the laws of your state. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Chamberlain Family Farms. If you did, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And also, if you're already subscribed, make sure you hit that bell so you guys don't miss an episode. And let us know if you guys want to see anything else like this. I know we typically don't do hunting, but if there are people interested in it, we will do more stuff like this. So give us a notification, comment, or something. See y'all soon. Thank you for watching Chamberlain Family Farms. You can contact us at chamberlainff@gmail.com. You can also see us on Facebook, Chamberlain Family Farms. We hope you enjoy. Please like and subscribe.